What is going on, guys? Big Rye coming at you with the NFL Week 12 Seahawks Washington football team game. Just getting everything set up as we speak. But how's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Okay, let's pull up the actual link so I can see chat. There we go. I'll do something like that. Fat guy should be joining pretty shortly. And I'll do the major zoom in for chat so we can see what's going on. Gonna add this to the live stream. Let's go. 20-year on the under for tonight. 47 seems to be the play. Seems like a high OU considering how Russell Wilson has played lately. But I'll take a look at the OU stuff in a moment. Just getting everything set up here, and then I'll take a look at the market and see what's going on. Jamie's also on the under tonight, 47.5. Nice job with that line. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I want to add tags to this. Let's go with this one. No. Let's go way early. What's going on, Josh? Zab says 2 bad defenses, no under for me. And it looks like Fat Guy is joining us as well. What's going on, Jamie? How are you doing? What's going on, Fat Guy?
Oh, hello.
We are live.
Oh, shoot. Now I got to fill the dead air.
Yeah. Any do you have any plays tonight on this game?
I do. They were accepted plays. Let's put it that way for those in the know. I have Washington +1, +119. And I have Washington +2, and I'm just looking at what the juice is right now. I did make a bet yesterday with a friend, and we were trying to figure out who got it better. I said, he said there's 0 chance that this is how, just so I don't know who's in the chat, this is how I get a lot of my argument bets. They've gone my way a ton historically, let's put it that way. Big Ry can attest to that. He said that there's 0 chance Atlanta Falcons could make the playoffs. I'm like, sure they could. And we settle on a price. I got 7-1. Now, I don't know, and I looked at the odds. Now, unabated.com actually has a pretty good display on that. So I found them as low as +345 and as high as +790. A consensus of about +580. So I think I did really well on this one, but who knows?
Zap saying early money pounded Washington. Now market has come back at Seattle. Josh Allen said Matt Ryan has been extremely underwhelming.
Yeah,
that offensive line is really what's hurt them more so. Like
we gotta think of it more advanced terms though, right? Like, okay, a quarterback's struggling. What does that mean? And what does that mean in relation to the price laid, right? Like, I'll give you a good example. At what price would you bet the Jets to win the Super Bowl? Think of that. Like, you can say, "Oh, it'll never happen." What does never mean? Would you take it 1,000,000 to 1? You'd put $1 and you get $1,000,000. Would you need more than that? You know what I mean? It's all about the price lay. You can say, "Oh yeah, quarterback's not doing very well." I completely agree. That's why I needed 7 to 1 to make the bet. Is there value on that 7 to 1 though? So, and the other thing too is when you're on the other side of those types of arguments, hyperbolic statements like, for instance, the one that I bet against, Atlanta will never make the playoffs. Well, I needed him to define that into numbers, and then we settled on 7 to 1. So that was what I could get out of him, right? But he thinks that more than 1 in 7. So it's all numbers. You can make a statement, but you have to quantitatively assign it, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's like Ted DiBiase said, everybody's got a price.
I knew exactly where that was going. How do I know? The problem with having 5 Gmail accounts.
All right, I posted the market in the Discord if you guys are interested to see what is going on.
I have a lot of data entry to do today. Wish I could get Signal on my computer, but at the same time that would compromise the security of it. So,
you want Signal on your computer?
The app?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a messaging app that's main application to security. Here we go. I'm getting set up too. I think we have a winner, Big Rye. Python hasn't slowed down once.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
I'll double check. I think it's okay. It might have stopped for a second just because I was taking a picture. Yeah, I was doing something on my computer, like I'll show you guys right now. If I hit this, stuff will pause, but it's only because I'm taking a screenshot of what I'm looking at, just to post on the Discord. Josh, it's very rare I would hammer anything, but I am on the under tonight.
Yeah.
1 unit. I don't know if you consider that a hammer. Atlanta plus 790 to make the playoffs on FanDuel. It's pretty crazy that the odds can sway that much between books, because you said you saw it at like plus 560 at a different book, fat guy.
Plus 340.
You saw it at plus 340 at a book?
Yeah, I'll look right now. I have it in front of me.
Plus 790 at FanDuel.
FanDuel's the only one that was above 7.
That's a crazy swing, though. There's got to be, even with the crazy juice, there's got to be some sort of middling opportunity there.
Yeah, it would be a little bit difficult because you'd have to, like, you know what I mean? You'd have to do a lot of, like, balancing. That was the only one that was above. Here, I have it in front of me. Boom. Let me just. Here we. Okay, if the page would load, would be great. Okay. $355 at Unibet, 450 at DraftKings, plus 450, plus 600 at PointsBet, plus 790 at FanDuel, and plus 355 at Barstool.
So what's the opposite then at like what's the best middling?
Oh,
if
there's
you had to
more.
pick two
888,
lines?
888 plus 355. Action 24/7 plus 600. Bet Rivers plus 355. Bet Wildwood plus 275. Plus 790 at Betfred. I didn't even know there's more. Plus 650 at Caesars. Plus 1100 at Hard Rock.
What?
Plus 550 Play Up.
Do you get the opposite of those?
Tipico. What do you mean?
Like, could you bet to not make the playoffs at any of them?
I'm not sure. I'm just looking straight at. I have a graph here.
Oh, okay.
Plus 790 Wind Creek. The consensus is probably about plus 590, plus 620, maybe in that range. So who knows? Like some of these books, though, are skins. So that means they're going to double up. They have the same odd set as another one. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I have noticed a correlation, though, is that the Arizona Cardinals, the higher the odd set, the shorter the odds for them to make the playoffs, the higher the odd set or the payout for the Falcons to make the playoffs. So there is some sort of balancing act there, and there has to be.
Yeah.
So I think I still won the bet. I think it's better than 7-1. So I think 11-1. I would actually bet that right now if I could. Like, I'd probably max bet it, to be honest. At Hard Rock. This is a big hole though. I found.
Well, it makes me wonder like how up to date some of that is. Like at 11-1. Did the Falcons win this weekend?
Yeah, it might not be. It might not be up to date for that game. Yeah, they did win. And that might be a walk-in book too. So yeah, there are some numbers that are worse and some that are a lot better than the odds I was given, but I still think I've won preemptively. But that just shows you we're getting better at negotiating. A lot of the guys I do this with have been burned pretty badly, and I think they're getting a lot better. So
538 has the Falcons at 8% to win.
Yeah, that's what the other guy used. That was his basis.
And
that's even less than 11%. No. 11% would be 9%. 9.099.
And then
that'd be 11, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much it's like 12 plus 1220 type of thing. Plus 1233 is probably exactly what it is.
Yeah. So they have it less than any market shown. So that was what the guy used his basis for, and I was happy to bet against it.
1 divided by 1250. So plus 1250 according to 538. But, you know, it's interesting, right? Because, let's see, 10% with a traditional ELO forecast without using quarterback adjusted. So 538 low on Matt Ryan, apparently. They've kind of got a polarizing schedule, too. Like, they play teams like Tampa, but then they also play Detroit.
Yeah,
like
they play Detroit.
It's an interesting one.
I looked after. They need one upset, and they have to win all of the games that they're favorites in. So it's pretty low percentage, but I think that that's better than what's offered. I think my chances are better than what I was given.
What's up, Untouchable? Thanks, Josh, for letting us know. I think that game actually got flexed during Sunday night, so we put the video out. We actually recorded the video
beforehand, yeah.
Before they actually made the change. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference for a lot of people. I'm surprised that game got flexed there, but I'm like, what other games did they have? They're probably not going to take. Well, they added it to the 1 o'clock. What was it? Jags Rams? What was the original? Washington at Las Vegas?
I'm not sure.
I think San Fran, Seattle. Yeah.
Niners Hawks makes way
Yeah.
more sense. That makes the most sense by a mile.
Well, it's just because Seattle's out of the playoffs, but the well, they're not. They might not mathematically be out, but it's unlikely. The it's weird because the Chiefs are 10-point favorites. Only the Rams and Tampa have bigger odds set. Like, it's weird for them to push the Chiefs into that, considering they're playing the Broncos. Honestly, to me the most entertaining game there would be like 49ers Seahawks. I think is still going to be a good game, but if they flex Chargers Bengals, I think that would have been the way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think they should have taken that game out. Like, it's still, like, I think the Seahawks still mathematically have a chance. It's not like they're out. Nice to see Logan Thomas back. What's going on, Don? Hello, football fans. I have to watch him just so I know what the cadence is. According to 538, the Colts are essentially a coin flip to make the playoffs. So that would be such a shame if they missed. Especially considering 14
started.
teams get in.
We do have a 5-star banger, Jake Jacobs. We sure do.
I'm not excited for these teams, but it should be a close game. Like, I like when the spread's close for these games.
The teeth has been taking out of the football team so bad, though. You lost Sweat and Young. Like, dude, that's not, you can't make that up. There's no team that even had, the only like similar depth at the end is like what the Browns with Clowney and Garrett.
I forget who he took in the pick video. Chargers or Cincinnati, fat guy. Do you remember?
Cincinnati, I think.
And then Logan Thomas wasn't. Well, I don't know. He must have been a college quarterback because he got drafted as a quarterback.
Yeah, he did.
And he's been like him and Pryor, I guess, are the only two guys that I can remember in recent history that have been like drafted at quarterback but had a successful career at a different position.
Yeah, like reasonably successful. Yeah, we have to. The term for successful in that type of application is a little bit skewed, But yeah, those are the two best ones. Those are two of the better athletes, though, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. I was in the midst of cooking dinner, and I had to come start the stream. I'm just going to go grab my food. Be back in a minute. Got to get my shawarma.
See how his finger is. You know what I mean? Like, feel like he came back early and like, oh yeah, it's only a finger injury. I don't know. It was on his throwing hand, and it was a little weird. To be real. Nice tackle. Hello, Mickey. How are you, sir? They're highlighting Gerald Everett. Big Rye's getting food, Mickey. He's not very good at timing this stuff. Opinion on the under 47. I gotta be honest. Like, I want to give you an opinion. I've been historically terrible. I don't bet over unders that often. I tend to like, if given like if I have to choose, like if I had to choose, I'd probably take the under, to be honest.
I'm on the under tonight, according to historic betting market information. Which does that
You're a
mean
little
that
quiet.
there's? Oh, sorry. I'm on the under tonight, but and I'm using like historic stuff over the last year and a half, just based off the markets. But that doesn't mean there's going to be like guaranteed results moving forward.
Or even edge for that matter.
Yeah, we don't know. I couldn't tell you what the expected value is of taking the under tonight. Unfortunately, live the over/under's 45, so live it's looking good, but that could change drastically pretty quickly. What's going on, Mickey? How you doing tonight? Tony said Cincy for him. Chargers D can't stop anyone. Josh said Jalen Reagor was bad this weekend. Still upset about that game. Jay is furious. LSU hiring Brian Kelly from Notre Dame. A game they had to win and should have won. That's why it's the NFL, though. Like, it just shows you how much Jason Garrett has been holding back the Giants this year. I say that tongue in cheek. So that's 2, 3 and outs to start this game, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't watched every snap of Galladay, but from what I've seen, like, it just feels like he's dogging it this year. He just feels completely uninterested. The thing that was super telling to me, and I found super strange, is that there was some bad play that, like, it was a Daniel Jones turnover, I believe, and him and Jason Garrett were just sitting on the bench, like, not talking, not looking at any film or any stuff like that. Like, it's just a bizarre thing to see, like, on the sidelines. You've got a 24-year-old quarterback and there's like no coaching being done mid-game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that's going to be the difference, but just from like the eye test, just seeing that, it's a very poor look. Devonta Smith's in Rieger's head. It's maybe like, I don't know, it's just a stupid way to look at it. Like, from if that's what he's thinking. It's kind of like what it looked like, Mickey. It really did. I wonder how many times guys have been they've been essentially told mid-game that they were going to get fired. Like, it probably happens more than we think.
It seems dumb to do that, but
it's also weird to me because a lot of like I feel like there's been a lot of head coaches that come back to coordinator and actually have a lot of success. So
Yeah, that
it
I do
really
feel like that
looks
too. Yeah.
it really looks bad for Jason Garrett. Like his future. Like where does he come back and what kind of capacity? I'm not too sure.
Consultant. That's what you end up like. You get like relegated to consultant.
Or I don't know if he has college experience. Like, is there a chance he goes back and has to take a college job? Where was Garrett before Dallas? Because I remember I was reading today and someone was saying that I guess he turned
The
down the
Giants, I
Baltimore
think.
job.
I think he was with the Giants. So he was a backup for the Giants. Jason Garrett, his playing career. Gonna look. Miami Q. Josh Allen on it today.
Quarterback coach for the Dolphins, and then he's been with the Dallas organization since 2007. So he was there a lot longer. I thought he was a outside hire for some reason.
Nice. He was a QB in Dallas and New York. Jay. Oh, he played in the CFL too.
Wow.
Washington's offense has run the ball on every 3rd and 1 this season.
Really?
I really want to look at their conversion on further down, their percentage. Pro Football Reference, here we come.
Did they just say that?
Yeah.
That's an incredible stat. Antonio Gibson he's a talented young running back.
Yeah, it sure is. Conversions. They're 25th on conversions. 39.23
On 3rd and 1 or on 3rd down?
on 3rd down. It doesn't have 3rd and 1. I'd be really curious. I love that.
That's actually like the sample size would be pretty small, but it would be interesting to track all that. And it wouldn't be overly difficult to track that.
It really wouldn't be. If that game book idea I had, that might be up, that might be coming up one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier now than it's ever been. Let's put it that way.
There's probably that information online too.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm getting to a point where I don't trust information enough. You know what I mean? Oh my, that was such a good run. I don't think he's done. He'll find a way. Don't forget, like, those guys, these are jobs, right? If he wants to work, he knows somebody that owes him a favor. You know, I mean, when you're a head coach and you get someone a job, and then the roles kind of reverse, I'm sure that there is some, like, reminder payola. That was such an ugly, ugly play. 2 guys blocking one, and they barely did it.
Like, I think he gets a job as like an offensive or like a quarterback coach.
Yeah,
or
like
like a
that
passing
seems
game
reasonable.
coordinator, something like that.
Not even that. Like you can be an assistant too. Like they have a lot of you get an easy 6-figure job. Snap the ball. There you go. Nice play, Heineke. Please don't hurt Scary Terry. Yeah, it's still not going to matter though, and we don't know what his success as a quarterbacks coach, for instance. And actually, we could probably safely say that he has had success. Maybe not the highest levels at coordinator and coach, but he did rise the ranks in Dallas. Like, where did he start in Dallas?
Offensive coordinator, assistant
No, he
head
was there
coach.
before there.
Well, he was there as a player. As a coach, 05, 06, he was quarterback coach in Miami. Then 07, he was Cowboys offensive coordinator.
Oh, he did jump in offensive coordinator. Oh, really? That's pretty quick.
08 to 10, he was assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. And then 2010, he was the interim head coach in Dallas. And then head coach for 8 years.
This has been a really nice drive from Washington. And I like their uniforms too, Zaps. I like the old Redskin uniforms, to be real, though. I feel like red zone is a lot harder for Washington, though. One TD in the first quarter. Let's go for 2. Ron Rivera looks like he's still pretty tough, like a tough guy. He was a linebacker, I think, in the NFL. I liked it, Josh Allen. I was all right with it. I didn't like Cleveland's performance, but yeah, first down.
After the game, one of the reporters was asking Stefanski about like if they were going to bench Mayfield, and Stefanski was like, pretty much said there's no other option. Like he was offended that the guy asked.
Did Seattle get the ball first? I believe so.
No, Washington started. They both had 3 and outs, and now this is the second drive for Washington.
That's all you guys could push? Holy, really, O-lineman?
The jerseys looked awesome. The helmets, though, it looked like the players had to write their own numbers on their helmets with Sharpies.
Yeah.
Oh, what a key tackle there. It's been very sure-handed.
Key tackle.
Brooks has made a couple really good tackles.
Dude, if he doesn't tackle like that, that's going in.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was getting in, too.
I agree, Zap. So this is just a sick tackle to be on. Oh, number 1 has already made 2 bad blocks. There's the second one right there.
But that's a weak receiver going up against what we've seen
but like
so far
he doesn't have to make much contact for that to be a touchdown. You know what I mean? You just have to get in the way. Like you should be able to do that. No, it's illegal, Toodle Noodle. Dude,
Man, he almost got a face mask, and all he had to do was touch the guy on the ground.
He could have ran up the gut, maybe. I don't know if I like this field goal attempt.
Unfortunately, Toodle Noodle, we cannot stream the game. Fat Guy can give you very, very detailed play-by-play, though, if you want to stick around.
No, I don't. Get out of here.
Logan Thomas should help in the red, like theoretically should help in the red zone, but like I don't know how comfortable Heineke is down there. Like their best chance really is like him and Gibson running it in, or using some sort of like play action because Heineke's pretty good on the run. But like on that last one, just asking him to drop back and make a throw, like essentially into, you know, some mix of zone coverage. I don't know if I like that. I hope not, Jay.
Yeah, we're not. You know where we're rooting. Come on now.
Dylan has Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, so we just if those guys don't play well, there's a chance.
I want to look now.
It's like an 8. He needs 8 points from Wilson and Lockett.
Oh man, I don't like his chances. Look how low scoring that tilt is.
Here we go.
Jay, you started the Colts D. Come on. I can criticize that move.
I was quite fortunate picking up the Dolphins off waivers this week.
I can't let you off on that one. I started Houston in one league and only got 6, but I was okay with the choice. Starting the Colts D there, I think, is bad. It's not as bad as Dylan starting New Orleans every week.
Yeah.
Streaming defense, having multiple defense is almost a necessity in fantasy football, I think. It's more my style. And playoff defenses is really important. They're going to get the... No, wow. Dude, that's impressive run. I thought that run was going to get blown up.
It's weird to see the third down struggles for Wilson.
It's just such an isolated stat, though. Like, I hate stats like that. So he's like overperforming in one area and underperforming in another, big deal. It's going to happen, right?
It's tough though, just because the importance of third down.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there goes the fantasy's already done, Jay. I'm sorry.
How is he open that much?
It was a 3rd and 1 play. So I could see them just dedicating. Like if they played 3 deep in zone. Pretty much what they did. The safety just
goodness.
completely froze. Oh boy.
He's trying to make a play on the ball. That's a great no call, to be honest.
Well, it depends on the timing of it all. It just looked strange.
It looked like a guy's trying to make an interception to me. I'm obviously defensively biased, though. I like mean, rough defenses, and they should be allowed to do that. They just rarely are. Oh, we got that critical third down here.
It'd be interesting to know if Wilson is put into more 3rd and long situations just because they like to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Like,
yeah, that would also that would negatively affect your conversion rate.
Yeah, like the predictability. Here's something interesting fact and I had a discussion about last night, and it's about how many quarterbacks are actually able to audible and make changes at the line of scrimmage. Nice catch by Everett. I thought that defender made the play. Oh, I love that fan pushing him back.
Yeah. I thought that got batted down.
I thought it looked like it got batted down live. That was just an incredible throw.
That's crazy. And that was so close to getting batted down.
But going back to that point, like which quarterbacks do you guys feel like are able to kind of like make changes at the line of scrimmage and
often? Like not rarely, but often.
Enough to like impact the game.
Yeah, positively.
Because like everybody knows and remembers Peyton Manning. Like Peyton Manning was probably the guy who made the most changes at the line of scrimmage for a long time. And there's like a few veterans that still do it. Wilson's one of them. He did that last play at least. Tom Brady. Just trying to think like who else, you know, kind of gets carte blanche at the line of scrimmage to do what they want. Yeah, the Omaha stuff. I just feel like I see it a lot less now than I did, but I don't know. Maybe I just had a huge influence from watching Peyton Manning games growing up. When did they introduce being able to talk, like the coordinators and stuff, into the helmets?
That's a great question.
That's a newer thing too. Yeah, like quarterbacks that are playing right now. Like current active quarterbacks. Like, Jay, you watch a lot of Philly games, so, like, do you see Hurts ever making changes at the line of scrimmage?
And to what degree?
like one of the guys who came to mind who was like more of a surprise is maybe Ryan Tannehill. Like he
Yeah,
seems
he
like one of the
does
more
do it.
active players at the line of scrimmage, whereas like some of the big star quarterbacks right now, like guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen, like I don't remember them making a ton of.
Mahomes does. Josh Allen, oh no, I don't recall.
Yeah, talking about Untouchable Jay, talking about Hurts, saying
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like it's got to be kind of tough to have a, to have a quarterback that's not able to make those types of changes, right? Yeah, the Mac Jones like film has looked great. Like the guy has just played so well, and you have to think like how good the coaching is there too. Like
He's
what
gonna win
a
offensive rookie of the year. Like
yeah, what a nice situation to be in, huh, for him. Who have they played since the bye? They played Tampa. Do you guys remember who they played last week? Taking a look now. Carolina and Tampa. So not too bad, but I saw that Cam Newton's lost like 9 or 10 in a row as the starter for Carolina.
that's such an isolated stat though.
Well, it just shows he's been shitty.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick was good at it. I'm guessing Fitzpatrick's not coming back this year, is he? Is he done?
He's hurt.
It's a hip injury. They said originally it was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks. But Ron Rivera said that he's shown some progress in his recovery, but he still needs rehab and that there's no timetable for him to return at the moment.
CMC is out for the season.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll take a look on Spot Track and see. Yeah, it was a 1-year deal. I'm wondering if he's going to just retire after this year.
Yeah, nothing would surprise me.
In 17 seasons, Ryan Fitzpatrick has made $82 million.
Seems fine.
It's just crazy to see how much money some of these guys have made.
I don't know. It's really big league. Makes sense.
Dak Prescott got paid $75 million this year in cash. At least that's what it says, yearly cash.
Holy smokes. What is going on? I want to see this again. Wow. Wow. How many ways could that have gone? A little weird.
Yeah, they brought in extra protection there with Logan Thomas, but not able to get it done. Josh Allen said Iowa wins by 1. Is that college basketball or college football? It's got to be basketball, right? Or
Yeah.
do they have a Monday night game for college football?
I don't know. I thought it was like whatever that means, Brad.
Oh, it's pretty clear. It says YouTube clowns stop.
There's like a house on the play button. Does that mean YouTube? Is that the logo?
Yep.
And the stop is just a hand with a 5 or an S. I don't know about that.
There was a lot of contact there. It's pretty rare to see McLaurin not make a play, but he almost did.
That was weird. He hit his back, but like I don't know what the rules are anymore, really.
I never realized that Heineke has tattoos on his arm. I'm guessing that Iowa and UVA played each other tonight.
Yeah. I think it's safe to assume, Big Rye.
I'm slow. I'm slow here. I'm still trying to figure out if UVA and Iowa were the same team or different teams. This is what Fat Guy has to work with, guys. It's pretty disappointing.
Well, at least you're loyal.
There is a middling opportunity right now for myself. I could get Washington plus 4.5. So if Seattle was to win by 1-4, I could have a middle. I think I'm just going to leave it for now just because the juice isn't too great. Iowa and Virginia. Oh, it's too bad. This with all these Dallas coaches being out, like I'm actually interested. Like, what do you do at practice? Like, could they all be brought in like on some sort of like Zoom type thing? Like, I how does that work?
It's a good question.
Like, do the players like? Is there enough? Like, how many coaches are there really at a practice?
There's a lot, but like, again, how do you do it?
First down for, I believe, Will Dissly. I still love how they talked about Metcalf had a very limited like route tree in college. Like the guy doesn't know how to turn left or right.
It might not be good at selling them, but like I always think the one thing about that's been kind of funny with him is okay, even if you knew where he was going, like it's a little tough.
I like what Mickey said here.
Yeah, his is great. I, for one, thought the line should have went to 7 with McCarthy out.
I actually thought the same thing. Like
addition by subtraction.
Yeah. But then again, they're replacing him with Dan Quinn, so is it how much of an upgrade is it? Man, I would have loved for the ref to pick that ball up and spot it where Russell Wilson was pointing.
Yeah, yeah. That was really bad awareness.
It was. So far, if you have a number 1 and you play receiver, it's not been your game.
That was a good effort by DJ Dallas. It's behind the line of scrimmage, though.
Seattle has a decision to make. And it looks like they're huddling up. My guess is they're going to huddle up, and they're going to try to...
get him to jump offside.
Yeah, and then they'll take a timeout or a penalty, and they'll punt. That's my guess. Nope. They didn't even do that. They just ran the punter up.
Nope. They didn't even do that. Who is number 1? Carter? I don't know.
On Seattle, it's Eskridge, and on Washington, I think it is Carter.
Washington.
I think he's a rookie. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like Dewami Carter. I think he was a 3rd-round pick. Let's see how close I am. De'Ami Brown. So no, DeAndre Carter. Ex-Baltimore Raven. Ex-Oakland Raider. Ex-New England Patriot. Ex-San Francisco 49er. Ex-Philadelphia Eagle. Ex-Houston Texan. Ex-Chicago Bear. And currently Washington football team, DeAndre Carter.
All right.
He actually played college ball with one of my friends who went to Sacramento State.
A friend of a friend. The most loose term ever.
Yeah, it was all made up. No decision for Pete. Yeah, Mickey. And then Zaps had Iowa plus 2.5. Almost blew a 21-point lead. It's too bad Iowa didn't win by 2. Or UVA. Yeah, very good friends with Fitzmagic. It's pretty impressive that DeAndre has been in the league 6 years, but played for 8 teams.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
And he was a UDFA for Baltimore. Yeah, that De'Ami Brown is their 3rd-round pick from this year. He's number 2. So excuse me for mixing up my single-digit receiver numbers, which we're still trying to get used to. I find it pretty hard in the secondary to know like if a guy's a corner or a safety or linebacker with the new numbers. Zaps on Cal State Fullerton and St. Mary's next. I haven't made a college basketball play bet this year. The March Madness went so well for me last year, though. Very, very fortunate. I think I ended up like 10 units for March Madness. And it's only because like the markets were crazy. The markets just worked out really well. I still can't believe Seattle didn't at least go up to the line and try to pull them off sides.
Wow, can you actually? You don't believe it?
Well, I believe it. It happened. It's just it's bad coaching. It just really is. Because they're at that point on the field too where like you can even just take the penalty
close.
And punt. It's really not going to make much of a difference. That's pretty crazy, Zaps. The guy who had 1 bucket all year in UVA had 14 points and 4 threes.
Go! Why you snapped? Oh God! Why doesn't anyone do the free play anymore, man?
It's confusing on both sides. Like as a defender, why would you try to come back?
Yeah, just go.
The one thing Seattle's done well early in this game is tackle.
That was nice from McLaurin.
Yeah, he's my favorite receiver.
I use your term crisis plays often, Mickey. I like that. It's true, and that should be an evaluation metric because there's a if you're bad in those spots, like things, the ceiling for how bad things can get is really high.
I read that Pro Football Focus has Trent Williams graded at 98 this year.
Yeah. Highest run blocking ever. Is that Curtis Samuel? Yeah, it was.
He's been
a bust. An injured bust.
Yeah. I think this is maybe only his second game. Oh, wow.
We got a wow here.
What a play by Heineke.
Oh! Dude, that was some shucking and jiving. I'm surprised he didn't, like, go a little bit further with that. It was him and one guy. Number 2. Number 2. Houdiniki, I like that too. I thought something really bad was going to happen in that play, I got to be honest. With the preemptive wow, too.
It's pretty bad as an offense when you see a wow and you think it's a big play for the defense.
Like yeah, but that was still awesome. Back in the day? No, definitely not. Back in the day, it would have been me running over a bunch of guys that were a foot shorter than me. That's...
Well, what? I was thinking about it yesterday because, like, out of the two of us, you're the much tougher guy. But then I'm laughing because I'm thinking, like, what if you played against guys that were all 7'6" and higher?
Yeah, I'd be dead. Well,
because that's what I got to experience my whole life.
Let's be honest, though. The 3 or 4 times I was up against guys bigger than me, I did very, very, very well. Because I don't know, I took it as like a chip on my shoulder, and I got extra rough.
But yeah, well, you got small guy syndrome, so.
There was who's that guy on Metro 4 that was 6'10"? And I remember looking up and like, oh jeez. I remember the first time I could get contact, I barreled into that guy as hard as I possibly could, laid on him, and then set the tone. But like having a guy with an elbow in the back of your head and neck, that gets tough over the end of a game. So
that would be a matchup I would have paid to see.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were so good at like people your size. The guys that always beat me were the guys that went down real easy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just got endless fouls on me. Endless.
Well, I fell a lot in soccer too.
Yeah, but I never, like, there's the refs that would give me zero benefit of the doubt.
This guy doesn't even
I'm like, I'm going to get a red card today. Like,
yeah.
And then there's the guy that goes, oh, he's just big.
I like
get away with murder.
I like the time that you literally like power bombed a guy that I knew, a friend of mine, and then you pretty much threatened the ref. Like, what are you going to do about it? And he didn't do anything. So
you guys will like this. The viewers, Bigger and I are playing a soccer game, and this small guy on the other team couldn't have been more than 5'5". He kept stomping on the back of my legs when I had the ball and I was dribbling, or like kicking me in the back of the legs. And then I kicked the ball out of bounds after he'd been doing it for like probably 5 or 6 seconds in full view of the ref. And I grabbed the guy over my head and I slammed him on his back like really hard. And then I threatened the referee and he didn't give me a yellow card or anything. And then the guy stopped doing it and the game went like very cordial after that. So I thought it was the right move. I was when he was doing it though, I'm like, I'm getting a red card right now.
Yeah, for what you did, and you make a good point that like it didn't escalate for some reason. Like
it de-escalated.
It de-escalated. Like, I've never seen someone get slammed to the ground and it de-escalate a game. But
nobody on that team wanted a piece of me at that point, though. I was not in the mood for it. It was too high. So And then we played like nothing happened. That was in the middle of a soccer game, full on like Kevin Nash. That's a nice ball. We had this argument at the place I was watching. They're talking about how bad of a passer is Heineke. They're like, I could do that. I'm like, no, you couldn't. I'm like, you think you get more than 2 passes in 25 attempts in the NFL? I'm like, you're out to lunch.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way.
Where does Wagner rank in tackles? He's got to be top.
Gotta be the. Oh, it used to be Blake Martinez all the time. I used to do this thing. I draft. I draft. Me and my friend would draft players, and whoever's team got the most tackles, the first overall pick was usually Wagner or Blake Martinez for a while. And I think I did CJ Mosley once too. Wagner, you had to pick in the top 3 though. There was no way around it.
A rare interception for Jamal
That's
Adams.
such bad luck. Holy smokes, that's bad luck. And good on that the football team player that tried to break it up. Who's on the guy doing the X?
Who is he?
There's some guy with like orange oven mitts doing an X.
Yeah, it's TV. So when they go to
TV
commercial, yeah, that's the
never
way
noticed
for
that.
them to let them know.
That was pretty bad from Thomas though.
When I went to CFL games, we had season tickets, and that guy was literally right in front of us. So something that I always would note. And at hockey games, at the penalty box, they have a little light that dictates like when they're in commercial, when they're not. It's interesting to something that's not interesting that you guys all know now.
I didn't know, so I was happy to learn that.
Seahawks money line's now minus 223, and the OU's at 38.
What's the spread?
The spread's still 4.5. So interesting enough, the spread stayed at 4.5, and the money line moved quite a bit. So that's interesting. Trying to remember how much time's left on this game, like in the half. I feel like they're in like the last 5 minutes, somewhere around there. .440 left, according to the box score. Anybody trying to make CFL plays against you recently? It looks like playoffs are coming up, so.
No, I got nothing. Kind of happy to. I don't really like I don't have as much confidence in like the market.
Yeah.
Is CFL, right? So I'm like, I'm happy to, even though you try and let 11 over 10 go to work for you, it's just like that one. It's just not as strong.
I'm expecting a big play here from the Seahawks because the live line just jumped up to 6.5. And there's a Lockett catch, takes him to midfield.
How does he hang on there? Man, a lot of coin flips going the Seahawks' way there. So he got a hand right on it.
That's just been something Lockett's been really fortunate or good, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a play. Washington gets on that. And just like that, the tables have turned. There's a flag on the play, though, as well. Yeah,
Hello,
bet.
darkness. The tables have turned.
Bet now, said Mickey. What a play by Landon Collins. Back down to 3.5.
That was nice to get that recovery somehow.
Well, it looked like it was going to pop into, I don't know if it was Metcalf or who was there, but it looked like it was going to pop into his hands. Oh, what a throw by Heineke under pressure. Oh, incomplete. Now this guy's saying catch. Oh,
I believe one over the other. I got to be honest.
man.
Oh, it swayed. Dude, this is pretty good from Heineke this game.
He's put up a respectable year. It looked like a catch.
Oh yeah, Houdini. I think so. I don't know anymore. I wish I had more direct answers for the viewers. Hey, fat guy, what do you do? I don't know. Is this sample big? Like, I don't have a. I wish I was better suited to give direct answers.
Oof. Jay thinking about jumping on Washington money line. Plus 135 right now. At least at Pinnacle Live.
Okay, now he slam him after the whistle. I like how much leeway you have with a running back.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did that to receiver, you would get in trouble. Tight end trouble. Quarterback, you're in big trouble. They got to give it to him there. You see what I mean?
If you do it to a line judge, you're in big, big trouble.
Yeah. But then there's always that drunk MMA fighter, you know what I mean? Like punch drunk. You know, that's like grabbing the ref's leg because he thinks he's getting submitted or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine with that. Completely fine with that.
Yeah, Washington in a nice position here to take it to half and save themselves that possession, considering Seattle is going to start with it second half. How did the Bengals lose to the Bears?
It happens. I mean, it's like it's weird, but
Burrow threw 3 interceptions. That really seems like the difference. Turnover battle is like the best indicator for wins and losses, really. When the news cycle is 24/7, it makes it really hard to have insider info for halftime.
yeah.
This time of possession and plays could be a pretty big factor in the second half for the Seattle defense. They've been pretty sure on their tackles, but like eventually you're going to get tired and start making these types of mistakes.
Takes a lot of effort to be like that accurate. You know what's interesting I've noticed though in this game is a lot of the D linemen are like they're high effort. Like, do you see a number 90 6 yards downfield? Like that's I don't know, just hard to do for a D lineman that heavy, right? And you're right, that's got to wane at some point.
That's a pretty big play.
It's so weird that the Seahawks even get a like pressure. You know what I mean? They don't even have any personnel for it. Darrell Taylor. They've been waiting for Darrell Taylor. It's like
second round pick from last year.
it's pretty great. It's good value. They seem to get a lot of guys like that.
Now this is dangerous for Washington because Seattle's going to get theoretically the last possession here and the next possession after.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't try McLaurin there.
He's just such a better passing option than pretty much anybody else they have, other than like maybe McKissick, maybe Thomas. Like,
no, but like even though he was covered, his body was open.
Wow. Washington's getting a fortunate break here. It seemed like a very like
How
late
is
flag
that?
and
I would
call.
be furious if I was Seattle. Like that seems very arbitrary. And I'm on Washington, but like
Oh, he definitely held him.
I don't know.
I'm fine with that call.
Yeah, I guess.
Pete
But
Carroll
why
said
does
you
it
owe me
come?
one now. You're upset with the timing of it?
Yeah, I hate that. I I'm on football team, but I hate call it then or like I didn't see the flag unless we missed it, like which is possible because I'm just going off whether the TV picked it up in the little graphic at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a great play. Dude, you got to give credit to Puna Ford 97.
Oh yeah, he gave full effort.
And that's a big guy, man. That's a big guy.
I'm surprised he actually didn't get the ball out with how hard he hit him. Heineke is super mobile. Oh, offsetting penalties.
Wow. I agree, Zaps. I completely agree, and it changes the game so much. Like, there's an argument for it. Like, you could say that it happened, but like, it just seems so like retrospective. You know what I mean? You know what it reminds me of in soccer when they play advantage, and then the guy gets a shot off, and it doesn't like go in, and then they call a foul afterwards. I'm like, you got advantage. That was the whole point.
Yeah. They just called roughing the passer as well here.
I mean, his shoulder pad was out of his thing. It looked like he got it. I didn't actually see it though. Let's see. I don't, man. I hate that rule. I think Seattle's getting jagged here. That is to the letter of the law, though, as Big Rye likes to say, and he would be right. I hate that penalty, though.
He did like a push-up thing to make sure he didn't like get on him.
Yeah, yeah, I'm agreeing, Vicky. This is pretty bad. These last two ones, I'm not impressed.
Seattle just took a timeout.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
What?
At least that's what they showed on the TV.
I hope that's wrong.
I hope so too. It's very confusing. I don't get to hear if it was like an injury timeout or a timeout.
That's a great roughing the passer call. Way too much body weight. Said no one ever. Yeah, I completely agree. How could you judge too? To be honest,
That's
especially if the guy puts his hands down. What a touchdown! Unbelievable. But how could you judge when the guy has his hands down? How do you know? Then at the same token, then we're getting in George Floyd territory. So I'm gonna let that one slide.
well, it's hard to like make contact with the quarterback and not fall on him. Like think about how particular your tackle has to be.
Yeah. I just don't. You can't hit him in the head. You can't hit him below the waist. You can hit him here, but you have to lead with your shoulder. And when you land, you can't land with your weight on him. Imagine explaining that one to someone who's not a North American, let's call it, and doesn't watch this sport.
What a wild play. Oh my goodness.
This is the craziest thing I maybe have ever seen in NFL football betting.
What a swing. Fat
I
guy,
don't
2
think it's a
points.
fat guy. He's not. He's too.
That was the same guy who took the roughing the passer call, so
It's 2 points.
some karma. He got the block, the recovery, the stiff arm, and the 2 points. I can't think of a better individual play this year than this one.
That would have totally messed him up. I remember the last time I saw that. Kansas City, Atlanta, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Larry Izzo. I know a Larry Izzo, not that one. Remember that drunk from the bar?
It's like it's tough when you lead with do you know that drunk from the bar? Because like,
The one that used to gamble football with me all the time.
yeah.
And then you guys would like this. He told me I don't know anything about football betting. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about this? You just pick 8 games and we'll bet whatever you want on them. He goes, okay, let's bet $100 and then 200 on this one. So just out of pure ironic fate, he went 0-8.
Oh man.
Then he and I'm like, I don't even have to do anything, right? And of course, I put the lines in, so I just juiced every favorite like over a key number by half a point, and he took the bait on every one of them. But still going 8-0 doing that. Come on, I'm looking for a 5-3 here. So
Joey
his name was Larry
Sly.
Izzo.
Joey Sly took an injury somewhere in those last few plays.
Oh my goodness!
And now Pete's timeout completely makes sense. Yeah, that's the one thing too that I even forget is like, not only does Seattle get the 2 points, but they get the ball. Like, it's the same as a safety. All right, so Russell Wilson did something on that last play that I really didn't like. But he took his mouth guard out, put it in his helmet, and then they ran the ball.
That is a huge generous spot. Is right, Jay. I think it should be half a yard back. Michigan on my way to an easy 11-4. But I don't think this game is very much up for grabs. I don't think there's one way or another. An easy 11-4, not hating, but it's never easy to go 11-4. Never.
Well, for you.
I get
It's easy for Michigan.
Apparently, yeah. Ice the kicker on an extra point. Scoregami's got to be in play big time here.
Well, a 9-9 tie. It's actually like more common than we think. Are they going for it? This is so bizarre because they have one timeout. There's 23 seconds left.
What is going on?
Now this is the time where you actually take the do the fake snap stuff, which I think he's doing.
Yeah, this looks kind of fake. Oh yeah.
You want Pete's energy when you grow up? Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice little touch I just saw is when they showed the three announcers, they had their autographs at the bottom. So if anyone wants to do any type of like credit card fraud or something with those three guys, you've got their signatures. It's doesn't that seem completely unnecessary to put people's signatures below on TV?
Yeah. Dude, what a sick punt. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He like low line drived it away from the player. Like there's not going to be a return here. Like that's Michael Dixon's awesome.
I almost felt like they were trying to get it to touch off of one of the gunners, like the guys covering the gunners.
Why not try that? You know what I mean? Like it can mostly only go well for you.
Yeah. What an interesting end to the first half. Do you think the NFL head coaches are contractually obliged to talk to those sideline reporters when they run back?
Yes.
For half?
Yes. Yes. I think it's a joke too, but like whatever. I don't know. Like I think sports media, I have a hate on for the media in general, but sports media is so boring. It's unbelievable that they don't do anything interesting.
Yeah, including us.
This is like the only time I actually think I'm better than somebody at something like like defiant, like the definitively rather. Gambling stuff and prognostication is a lot more entertaining than any of the garbage that gets done right now.
Look at this photo they got of Mike McCarthy. Now that's something else. McCaffrey's missed since he signed his big contract. He's missed 23 out of a possible 33 games. They just showed that Canada played the Bahamas in FIBA basketball.
Yeah.
Like, who's playing in those games. Like
I don't know.
in the NBA, like there's college basketball and the NBA going on. It's not like players are being let go to go play in FIBAs.
What about like Canadian collegiate players or like semi-professionals? I don't know
That's what I mean. Like I don't know who's
because Canada has how many NBA players? 3.
uh there's a lot of Canadians in the NBA
Yeah, I know, but 3 guys that start.
on their national team.
Yeah,
I'd have to look. I don't know who's all actually
is
playing.
Nick Stauskas Canadian? Not that he's in the NBA right now, but
I'm I think so. I can't actually remember who that is exactly.
he used to play on the Kings. He used to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like USA is playing right now, so I'm trying to see who's I don't know any of these players other than Isaiah Thomas, but I don't think it's the one I think it is. Oh, it is. Interesting.
He's not playing in the NBA right now, though, is he?
I guess not. Justin Anderson, Shaquille Harrison, BJ Johnson, Emmanuel Terry, and Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, it says Isaiah Thomas is a free agent. And then one of the assistant coaches on Team USA in FIBA is Othello Harrington.
Grizzly? Former Grizzly?
Yeah, former Grizzly.
Vancouver Grizzly, that is.
Yep. I remember when he was on the Grizzlies, they had a very interesting stat where they started the same. I think they were like the first team to ever start like all the same 5 players in all 82 games. And he was one of those guys.
Who else would have been on that? Michael Dickerson, Sharif Abdul-Rahim,
Othello
Bryant
Harrington,
Reeves.
Bryant Reeves, and Mike Bibby, I think, was the 5, if I had to guess.
Oh, and Bibby, yeah. Man, you and I went to so many dog shit basketball games.
Yeah. I remember as a kid being confused, like, how did they lose by 10 every single game?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and my mom, I remember her saying like many times, 10 isn't that bad.
It's just amazing how, like, I wonder what their against the spread record was.
Oh, it would have been horrible. Like it would have been all time bad, I think. Man, I used to yell at Brian Reeves all the time. I swear he knew who I was. Because I liked cheering for the other team. I found that more entertaining. Guess I was a contrarian from the get-go.
Yeah. Well, we had to watch Grizzly games. Of course, you're a contrarian.
Yeah. How true is that, eh?
I don't think I could find any against the spread information on the Grizzlies when they were in Vancouver. Yeah, I wonder. It's interesting. Like, let's see if I can find out who played or is playing for Canada. Anthony Bennett.
Oh
is
yeah, right.
playing for
First
Canada.
overall pick, Anthony Bennett.
Yeah. They have a stat here called EFF, but I don't know what it means. Like efficiency?
Ooh, big over for Mickey Hill.
Second half over 23. What would that put the final score at? 18 plus 23 is 41. You got a good line because the over-under at Pinnacle is 41.5. I'm sure this got factored into your play. Oh, Jay's on Washington plus 132. That's also a good line. Live there, plus 117 at Pinnacle. Yards at the half suggest a total of 23 instead of the actual 18. I think that makes sense. There were some big turnovers like in scoring positions in that first half. I just find it weird that there's like a FIBA basketball tournament going on during like the season, but
This is your Larry Blackman.
who?
The FIBA basketball tournament, the complexities, or the availability of pro players for the FIBA basketball tournament.
Well, I'm just like, I've gone and watched FIBA stuff when there's NBA players there, but like, how can you have a?
Do you go to the ones at GM Place when they had it here?
No, I was lucky enough to go to. They had a qualifying tournament in Vegas, and I went to watch, and it was super enjoyable because they had like kind of like March Madness where it's like you just show up and there's games all day. So they'll play like 4 or 5 games like back to back to back to back. So you just show up whenever and watch. But like Team USA was always the last game of the day if they were playing that day. But they had like LeBron and Kobe and Chris Paul and like Dwight Howard. Like they had all the best players at the time. And so it's pretty interesting to watch all those guys play like up close and personal against international teams. But like it makes sense when those guys can go play. Like that's why I'm confused why there's, because I have a feeling that this has, it's probably like some sort of play-in, like to get into like the main tournaments. So it's just interesting when like essentially you can't take your entire team.
Yeah.
Because it affects a lot. Like there's a lot of like people from Spain, Australia, Slovenia, France that are all playing in NBA games right now. They're not being let go by their teams, that's for sure.
We might have hit in the video. I might have hit on every CLV pick.
That's awesome.
This is looking pretty good, actually. I'm just looking at the line movement now. Wow, this is good. I'm impressed. I've been on fire with that last 4 or 5 weeks. Oh, it feels good, man.
I think you especially have had a very good finger on the pulse this year as far as games and lines and value and where teams are ranked and all that stuff.
It's I don't know. Things I'm doing behind the scenes, like maybe it's working. I don't know, but these are some nice results. It's funny though, like some of my bigger bets I've gotten like 4 points of closing line value and I've lost all of them. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely crazy. But like,
Well, it just shows you in a small enough sample, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
But that's part of the grind too, right? Like you have to do this for a long time.
It's like that guy that got upset when we made those teaser plays. I beat the spread. Like we bet on 2 teams that were -2.5, that went to -3.5 with juice on the 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know what to tell you, man. If those ones don't cover, I'm, sorry, like that's pretty good odds set there, right?
Mm-hmm. Jay said Denver hit in NBA. I'm guessing that's a good thing. Seattle only had the ball for 8 minutes and 30 seconds in that first half. This
is actually bodes really well for Washington.
Yeah, I think so. We get the signatures again.
Where? Oh yeah, right. You're a second ahead of me.
Joey Sly not doing the kickoff, so I'm curious what his health's like. And whoever did the kickoff left-footed. I don't remember a lot of left-footed kickers. It's interesting that there's a lot of left-footed punters, but not field goal kickers. I can't think of one, like Akers. Does that even make sense?
David Akers? That would have been a few years ago. I'm not sure. There's only 64 in the league, maybe 65, 66 you count practice squad players. You're going to have, like, and they're distributed in half, like, there's going to be...
It reminds me of the time I said that Alex Smith was a left-handed quarterback.
Left-handed, yeah, for, like, years. And that was, like, the one thing I'm like, oh, okay. There's no way Big Rye would mess something like this up.
No, I did big time.
Yeah.
I must have been watching like mirrored highlights or something stupid.
Who's the only left-handed quarterback?
I think so. Joey Sly halfway down the field decides to fake an injury.
Washington just said they're not attempting field goals and they're going to go for it. Oh my. That's maybe better though. I don't know.
It is. Like honestly it is. Like unless they need unless it's tied and they're at the 35 with 3 seconds left, like you know who's been just wildly disappointing?
Who's that?
For a draft pick is Rashad Penny.
Oh, we called that one the second it happened.
Yeah, but it's been like it's even worse than you.
Worse
like,
than what we thought. Yeah,
can't get on the field. He comes back for a game and then he's out for 3 or 4. Like Will Fuller's the same way.
He doesn't do anything. Who cares?
Will Fuller's the same way. Like,
remember when they drafted him and Pete Carroll said, "Well, we've already got an offer for him," which is always a good sign. Yeah. And you and I are like, "Yeah, sure." Like, yeah, right, bro.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
What was?
Bad play to start the half here on the 3rd and 4.
That was like that Rashad Penny one for us. That out of all the picks, I would say that was the most certain one that I thought was not going to work out.
I think that's fair to say.
Fair to say. You too.
Jay agrees, saying Russ
but
looks not right throwing.
We can say that, but his touchdown pass, I'm sorry, was like
it was beautiful.
Elite level. Elite. He had inches, and the other thing too, it's not even the inch at the window. He had to have insane power on that. He got it. Yikes, man. He could have returned that pretty well too.
He ironically probably got more yards by fumbling it forward a few than he would have on his actual return.
Maybe.
That last one wasn't good. He had a little bit of pressure, but that's a play that he would usually make. So it's so hard to talk. Like, it's so hard to know with quarterbacks because, like, maybe the read there is that Everett's supposed to break in, and like Wilson might have put the perfect pass in, and just with how Everett played it, like it's really, really hard to know exactly what both guys are supposed to be doing.
Or maybe Jay's right. There's that possibility too. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to judge that after that pass. Like in one of my fantasy groups, they're doing that right now. It's like, it's just such a reactionary thing. Like, I just, and then I instantly disagree with it. Like, so I'm like, we can't just hate on that one play. But he hasn't, like, they put up 0 against Green Bay. Like, he's never done that before. Like, that's pretty bad. And then I gave him the shake off, right? That TD pass was sick. Anyway, you slice it. It's tipped. It's even more impressive. Like the mind you though, like that was kind of like with the Aaron Rodgers. Remember week 1, and then I remember, in those, one of my friends' groups. Oh, he's done. He's not trying to win. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. I'm like, think about it. Aaron Rodgers has played how many games? Let's go on average 14 a year. 12 years? We're looking at, 100 and 160, 155. That was a great ball. Did you see that throw?
Yeah.
That was a great ball. That was a great. That rainbow ball. That was a lot harder than it looked. I think Washington. I don't know, but like this just seems like slightly better Baker Mayfield almost. Like, I don't know.
If I remember correctly, for the NEA, like he's been perfectly average.
That average is fine in a lot of places.
Well, I'm trying to think of the other guys that were there, and I think like him, Mahomes, Mayfield, ironically, were all like in that same. Plus money line plays are the best. Yeah, they do feel good. It's nice when it's like a coin flip and it's like, I've got a couple extra points. Washington now minus 122 on the live line. First down, Washington.
That ball wasn't that good. Oh, assist from Diggs. Plus money plays are the best, Mickey. I've increased my propensity to take favorites though. Finally, it took years to do though. Like big money lines, I hate doing it, but I'm starting to get more into it.
Well, it just goes back to consistency, right? Like if you do it once or twice and you lose, then it's like, you know.
Well, that's if you depends how you count things. That wouldn't deter someone like me.
Oh, exactly. But then it's hard to give as advice, right? Because a lot of people make their like 3 or 4 bets in YOLO and then they're done.
Yeah, well, that's why I never. You nailed on the head. That's why you don't give advice. That's why I hate posting plays because it takes a very particular person to understand that like losing is a big part of it, you know, especially when you give like dogs too. See, there you go. I like Mickey Hill. I will bet a money line favorite if Big Rise Sheet says to. That's the right attitude. And then if you don't complain after, like you vent in the Discord, but if you carry on business as usual, regardless of the result, then you're winning. Some of the poker guys, I'll tell them because they get it. They won't even bring it up the next time, right? Regardless of what happened, they won't thank me if they won. They won't hate on me if I lose. That's what I want. I don't want to be thanked if they're won. If someone wins, I don't want to be berated if they lose. Me neither, Jay. But like I've done tennis bets of minus 320 and stuff, and I'm okay with it.
The only thing that's tough is like the higher a favorite you get, like the less positive expected value there can be, like potentially. You know, like if someone's 90% to win, and the odds are 85%, like that 5% it's a small 5% compared to like a 50 to 55.
Yeah. We do need a TD, Mickey. Let's go football team. Are we not allowed to do that anymore? I don't know.
Nice.
Why didn't I wear my football team gear? Look at that run, dude. Dude, the guy that gets like 7 yards a pop, that's my guy. You know? I don't want 20s. I want consistent 6s and 7s. This hole was great.
Adams did something interesting there because he jumped to the outside to force him back in, but by doing that, he just opened up a huge hole of the field.
Did you see Green though? Like this D-line's fighting hard, man. Like this is some of the coaching stuff. Like I think Pete Carroll's a bad coach, but as far as getting your men to work hard, can't argue it. You legit cannot argue it.
It's like the Dan Campbell stuff, right? Like it's pretty similar.
Yeah, but their strategy is just garbage.
Yeah. Well, especially Detroit. I don't know so much about Seattle.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to say their strategy is pretty bad, too. It's not as bad as Detroit's, but... They look like they're huffing, though, the D-line a little bit.
Well, it's just tough, right? Like...
Dude, this run from McKissick, holy smokes. Follow your blocks. Oh, they're going to go for 2, I think. Or is he kicking Pats?
They're going to go for 2.
Dude, look at this. Oh my. Sorry, that's just beautiful running. That's beautiful running. I love that stuff. That gets me going. And they're going for 2, man. Let's get it, football team.
They have to, right? The kicker slides out.
12 consecutive failed 2-point, and you would think
And
this would be a
Gibson
good
gets
2-point
in.
team.
Man, Ford almost stopped him at the goal line. Like an impossible, like stopped him from behind. I had to really think about what FY meant. Zab says the love going for 2.
Yeah, it's great.
They already said they're not kicking field goals, so.
They shouldn't be telling people that, though.
Oh, just is what it is. That would have been an all-time tackle if Puna Ford could have pulled off the German suplex to stop him at the goal line. Oh, it's all good. The OU's at 45.5 right now, so that's a good result for all of us. Washington -5 live and -251 on the money line. Seattle run deep porous. Yeah, it's looked that way. Like, they're just going to get tired. Like, Seattle has 4 first downs in this game. Like, if they can't, that's what makes, like, that Russell Wilson, that 3rd and 4th that he didn't complete earlier. Like, if they keep making those plays, like, they're just making it impossible for this defense to play. Zabs has lunch money on the over full game. This is the most divided I can remember, like people being on overs, on unders, on both sides. Like it's fun to see. It just shows you how close these lines are really for this game.
Is anyone betting Seattle? I think we only have football team in the house, I think.
I'm on Seattle.
Yeah?
Yep. Seattle money line.
Ooh.
Not looking good now.
When's the last time we've been on the other side of a bet?
More frequently now because you're indifferent, right? You get good juice, so
I get good juice. I don't really care.
Oh yeah, the middles are still there.
Yeah, I got plus 119 plus 1. Like that's, I don't know. I like it. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah. I'm not big on the results though. I like watching the games, and what happens.
Yeah, of course.
These even the kickoffs are interesting right now without having their normal kickoff guy. But the kicks have been pretty good. Now we get one of the sweet graphics. I wonder really what's changed for Washington's defense from this year to last. This Seattle team is just having a tough time right now.
Look at Jay making. I like that. I couldn't pull the trigger in Seattle. Seemed like a small sample size. Excellent.
Yeah, it's
That's a good
very
reason.
sound logic.
There's me and Big Ry used to say this all the time. You should be looking for reasons not to bet.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think that probably made us too conservative during like the middle of our careers, I guess we'll call it. But I'm okay with it.
It's very rare I can look back saying, "Oh, I really wish I bet this." Like,
Yeah, that's a good line too.
It just doesn't happen. Oh man, almost intercepted. And we're gonna have another 3-and-out for Seattle.
Oh. Dude, do you see DK Metcalf push that guy to the ground?
No, I didn't see it. Like on the playing field or on the sidelines?
On the playing field. Guy was playing press man against him. He just pushed him over.
Oh, really? He's just like, there's got to be a pretty big strength mismatch for Metcalf with a lot of the corners.
Could it get bigger? Like,
for wide receivers, not really.
is he the most athletic wide receiver? Like, you got Randy Moss and stuff, but like Randy Moss is just mostly speed. Like
the only comparable right now is like AJ Brown.
Yeah, who's smaller than him and his workout partner, same university.
Yeah.
Where'd they go? Ole Miss? Mickey, chime in here.
I guess so. University of Mississippi, is that Ole Miss?
Yeah. Mickey, that's your team, right? Ole Miss? I always get it mixed up. It's too many colleges. I thought it was that or Mississippi State. You like Ole Miss, right?
An underrated thing for Metcalf. Like, it's been a young career, but he hasn't missed a game.
That's a like that. I remember when you told me about the hockey scout thing that they look at games played as a good metric for whether a player was worth it or not.
Yeah.
I used to kind of think that was hokey, but then like, it's becoming more relevant to me too.
Well, like, would you rather have, like, let's say let's keep it to football. Like, would you rather have a running back that'll put up 100 yards a game, but it can only play half the games?
No, because I can make up that. I can get to 90 yards with a basket of 4 players that are expendable, more or less, to be honest, and low salary.
So that's where, like, players fit different roles, and like obviously some players are better than others, but like just being able to play and get, whatever your role is and be able to contribute is contribution to your team. Like 5th, 6th round guys, like if they're dynamite on special teams, is that a failed draft pick? Like, I don't think so. It's a guy that can contribute and play well and help you win. False start. This isn't good for Washington to start this drive.
The The first accepted penalty of the game against Washington. The announcer just said, "Wow." Zitfono, hello, sir.
What's going on, Zit? Zit just reminded me. Someone commented like this huge comment on cryptocurrency on our picks video, but at the end it was just like a big ad
There's a
to
shill,
follow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very rare I delete stuff, but that was just too crazy.
We also
for me.
got called agents of a certain variety too.
Good. I don't even know what that means.
No, I can't say on stream. You should read it.
Does Seattle have injury issues? I'm just looking at like players on the IR. Really, Chris Carson, Marquise Blair.
That's not that damning, to be honest. As much as I love Chris Carson.
And Trey Brown.
Yes, Las Vegas Raider, Josh Allen, yes.
They really don't have very many injuries. Like, I guess the one that you could maybe consider is the Russell Wilson injury and how that's impacted them, but he's starting and he's playing. Second half over, still on pace, Mickey. The OU's at 41.5, so. This OU's been very interesting because it's been flipping from 45 to 40 and 45 to 40 pretty much after every touchdown.
Great punt.
Wow. I'm pretty sure that's spot on, Zit. It must have been like a thing just going around on YouTube because they probably just put it on like every video.
I got to be honest, the photo and name that they used didn't seem like a credible person. Like it wasn't like, I would say it was of the sophistication of like a Nigerian prince thing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the first half I was like, oh, this seems like a legit like. I'm like, I don't remember Fat Guy and I really getting into crypto on the picks video, but maybe we did. And then almost all financial channels have it. So.
Oh, you know what? We said, because the prize is given in Bitcoin, and maybe it read the the auto-generated subtitles.
Sense.
And then some script finds our video and puts that in. That makes sense.
It's pretty crazy that like there's all these different scams on the internet and they actually work. Like it's kind of sad. I love watching the guys that like lure the scammers out and then out them like Jim Browning. Jim Browning is my favorite for that on YouTube.
Which one is he? The British guy?
Yeah, he did a complete documentary because he was he kept doing it and he kept informing like the local police, but
in
like
India?
Yeah, but the thing is like they just don't do anything about it or not to what he likes. So then he went to BBC and he went, I've got all this stuff. Do you guys want to do a documentary? And they said, yeah, for sure. And he went pretty far. Like he managed to hack into the entire the CCTV of one of the hacking places.
Yeah.
And he did like he collected like 6 months of footage, and he had like he managed to essentially find like all their names and like because they had scammer names and they had the real names. It's pretty crazy what he's able to do.
That was like the teenager in the mid 2000s or early-ish 2000s that had a Trojan in a bunch of like thousands of computers, and he used it to expose pedophiles, and he found like judges and stuff like that, and the FBI still confiscated his computer He didn't
So
get charged
crazy.
with anything, but then
Yeah.
he was pissed. He's like, "Why would I tell you now?" Right?
Yeah.
It's not like the kid was like 17 or something. Like, how could you? You can't just replace his computer, you know?
I didn't watch the video, but I even saw some guy say, or like at least the title portrayed that he could make his own VPN, and it was like a step by step guide on how to do it, which I found pretty
Wow.
interesting considering how like prominent it is. But I also don't know how much to believe. Like,
Well, how do you have servers everywhere? I guess you could pay for them realistically, right? Because you could use cloud service to do it. Yeah, that could work. And I'm sure there's third party software that makes it pretty easy, right? Because it
yeah,
would just be
maybe
like rehashing your IP and spoofing it with something else. Like,
I didn't try. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where you read the headline and
have you noticed that 538 has been off this year? Yeah, the sample isn't like I had this. The thing about being right or wrong in a year, I actually had this discussion. One of my friends, they have like a pool of their family, and their family owns a property management company, and there's only about 20 of them, and one guy is hitting at just over 70%. His cousin, and his cousin's gloating about it every week, right? Because it's crazy. It is crazy. But I looked it up. You know, if you hit 70 or more, 70 or more percent over, like, I think it was 160 games of betting, it's like 1 in 450 roughly. Like, if we just put it at 50, we could just safely call 50% for a spread pick, right? So that, like, in a sample, like, it's not that crazy for a lot of projection ones to be really good or really really bad. So, but then we had this argument. I told him, I said that if he does this 4 years in a row, I'll cut off both my pinky fingers. And then they're like, why would you do that? And then I told him the math. It's 1 over 9.708 or something times 10 to the negative 38 power. Like, there's not enough stars in the universe, right? So over like a 1 season sample, I think it's possible, right? And not only that, like, anything's possible. I mean, is we've hit over 60% in the season before too. Like, and someone did, like, our contest, just 100 people, right? So conversely, you could go to 40% just almost as easily, right? So it just, maybe the science isn't as accurate, and it is just random. So
the contest is interesting because of how the lines move. Like, technically, not every single pick is going to be 50-50,
yeah,
which
because
ends
you can
up
get closing line
making
value very easy.
which ends up making a difference long term. And also, like, the thing with any, like, this goes with us, this goes with 538, it goes with anything that's prognosticating. Like, you're only going to be as good as the information that you input into whatever system you have, or whatever like predictive system. And it's very very hard, no matter how good you're, like Fat Guy and I can come down to the exact number on almost everything that can happen, but you still have to put some sort of input in, at the front half, to kind of go through this machine to be able to predict whatever it's going to predict at the end. It's incredibly difficult.
It is incredibly different. I have to say, as far as our picks though, the we have to pick every game, and that like hoses it. But the emphasis of our video isn't so much what we select, and it's the information behind it. Like, I can honestly say that, and we put a lot of stock into the talking points behind that. So,
what
like,
a weird spot here. But the other thing too is, like, the whole point of our video and be able to pick every game is to show that it's, like, very 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 difficult to be able to select games. It is essentially a coin flip when it comes down to it. And with everyone entering the contest as well, and doing, for the most part, doing very similarly to how we do, like, it's like mind numbing to just kind of find out the truth about sports betting, is that it's very 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 difficult, and most of us are very very average.
Well, it's designed that way, and then you lose to 11/10, or you know what I mean, or what is it, 21/20? That's, I guess, offshore is 21/20.
I didn't hear what Jim Harbaugh said about Day, but I don't even know who Day is. Zivono said it's difficult because even if you make the right pick, the game could go either way.
Of course it can.
And Jake saying it's a punting clinic tonight, and it sure has been. Just call me Mr. 50.
That's nothing wrong with being Mr. 50%.
Statistically, pretty much all of us will pick at 50% over the long run. Like, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In theory, like over a large enough sample, that's where all of us would be. No, what did he say, Mickey? What a tackle.
This is a nice line. Oh, man, that tackle was awesome. Some guys are born on third base, but they walk around like they hit a triple. That's a great line.
What did Ryan Day do to deserve this?
Oh, is that the first round pick, Jamin Davis? Sack. Is Big Red not cutting his hair till he goes 60% for his season? Yeah, maybe. That's kind of like you ever heard that story about his name's Eamon Hambleton? He's a Canadian chess grandmaster, and he grew a beard until he became a grandmaster. So it got out to here. It grew up for years, and then he got to shave it all off once he did. So he said that was his his. Someone asked him what was the best route to become a grandmaster. He said, "Do something that annoys you until you can make it stop." So I always thought that was a funny idea.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
You can see his pubes.
Oh yeah, they're twice as long. The this hair's coming off pretty soon. Like it's going.
My mom bought you hair products for Christmas.
That's very nice of her. Hopefully it works on short hair.
I don't know. You could tortoise. You like tortoise, right?
I don't know what it is, but if it's from your mom, I'll gladly take it and thank her. Well, Urban's got to be one of the best. Like, if he's getting a job and getting paid as much as he is, like, the guy had to put in some serious work at the college level.
He only lost 7 games in his, or was it 9 games in 5 years at Ohio State?
He's got an 85% win percentage in college football.
But I mean, that's not all him though. Like, you coach Ohio State, recruiting process is going to get a lot easier. Like, the university has a pretty strong rep, I would imagine, with the athletic population of America.
83-9 at Ohio State. But he went 17-6 at Bowling Green. He went 22-2 at Utah, and then he went 65-15 at Florida. Like it couldn't have been as easy as it was at some of those stops.
Florida, he coached one of the best college football teams ever. Tim Tebow was like an all-time college player. So you can say what you want, right? Like, obviously, professional career is not going to work out, but
even before that, he almost went 40-8 between Bowling Green and Utah.
That's pretty good.
39-8.
He's not going to last this year. He's got to be the favorite to get fired first. But he'll get fired at the year's end.
I wonder what his contract is, though. Like how many years?
I don't think the owner cares about that because it doesn't come out of the cap.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most generous owners in terms of like commanding personal resources to a team. Shahid Khan.
I watched a Jacksonville preseason game, and he came on to he was there like the entire second quarter just talking about stuff. And it was funny because he talked about bringing in Urban Meyer because he had like a winning history, and essentially he just talks so much about winning.
Well, that's what this guy wants, you know?
Yeah.
He spent $40 million on the home locker room. Like, who's doing that?
Mark Cuban. It's pretty low number of owners I can think of.
Yeah. If I was a owner with like that kind of money, that would be my main thing. Because if you win, you boot, like that's the easiest way to boost your franchise's value. It's not like if you have a New York team, it just doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like the Patriots, I know it's Boston, but like, is that first down? I know it's Boston, but like New England, their value is strictly from winning. You know what I mean? Like their added value. Thank you. Did you read my text? I'll let you know. Otherwise, I might just forget. Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much.
They just highlighted that Taylor Heineke's the only undrafted quarterback this year playing. Is Chip Kelly coaching anywhere right now?
I don't know. It's a good question. I thought he was in college, but there's got to be a smaller college that wants him for sure.
Yeah, UCLA.
Yeah, but they're UCLA. They're is he the head coach? Because I think they're getting Lincoln Riley or whatever.
Yeah, he's head coach at UCLA.
Shows how much we pay attention to college.
He's had pretty bad results, to be honest. This year he's 8-4. It's been his best season, but he put up 3 losing years in a row: 3-9, 4-8, 3-4. Does UCLA just have like less talent than some of the other teams? Oh yeah, I figured you were talking about somebody else, but I was just curious if Chip Kelly was anywhere else.
Let's go for it. Let's
Oh,
do it,
man.
Washington.
And a big play. That helps the Washington backers. It helps the over as well.
Wow.
Oh, but there's a flag on the play. Holding. Oh, man, that's going to force him into a punt. That's unfortunate for Washington. Gibson running with a purpose. Gibson's good. I really enjoy watching Gibson play. Did Chip Kelly coach San Fran in 2016?
Yeah, he did.
And he
I
went
don't know why you
two
don't
and
remember. They went 2-14, right?
I don't remember him being in San Fran. That's interesting.
He had to deal with the Kaepernick controversy.
Just tough. There was a running back that switched from receiver to running back. I'm trying to remember who that was now. I completely forgot. Like, you guys could have tested me on that, and I would have not got it right. Oh, Chip Kelly playing in San Fran.
Him and Jim Tomsula, 1-year wonders, San Fran.
I remember Tom Sula. Yeah, he played wide receiver and running back at Memphis, did Antonio Gibson. I'm surprised we don't see him used more as a receiver in the NFL, to be honest.
He's not even a third down back on the team.
No. Like
you can't argue. McKissick is,
he's
as
played
far
really
as like
well.
value third down running backs. Like, he might be the best bang for your buck.
This is
look what
interesting.
he
I
makes.
didn't know that Tyreek Hill played running back in college.
Me neither.
Tyreek Hill's hands are what is very, very surprising about him. He's been very sure-handed for like his athleticism. Like most of the guys that are athletic like him, it's usually just absolute terrible hands. Like guys like Will Fuller. I'm trying to think who else. Deshaun Jackson's another guy who's got pretty good hands. Like he makes a lot of plays.
But he's
OK
usually
State.
open when he catches. It's a lot different. You know what I mean? Like,
Kelly let D. Jackson McCoy go. Didn't Chip Kelly, was he one of those guys that liked the tall receivers?
I think so.
I think he had like Jason Avant.
And he had what was his name? The white guy. Riley. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Got a lot of touchdowns.
Oh, Jay will definitely know.
Yeah, J.D. McKissick gets $1 million a year.
That's crazy. That's pretty good value.
Oh, its cap is 1.6 million in total. I just looked at his base salary. Yeah, 1.66 million. That's awesome value. See what I mean? Like, like how much better on third down are like McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook?
Mickey Hill says Cooper.
Riley Cooper. Yes. how much could he have liked speed if you get rid of Jackson and even McCoy for that matter? He liked speed on the O-line. He definitely liked that because they had a lighter O-line. They've got off a lot of plays.
We're getting to the point of the game where they're hoping for PI.
Oh. There's like so many close picks that could have happened.
Oh my, what a disaster of a play.
He liked the white guys. No, I don't. It's no offense taken. You can like. I mean, you can like whatever he wants.
That was very fortunate for Seattle because that was definitely a catch fumble out of bounds.
They've been actually pretty. Flag's been fortunate for Washington, but as far as like non-turnovers and turnovers in general, have gone Seattle's way big time. The football gods in terms of randomness of the egg, have favored them. That was awesome.
Seattle's really getting to the point in this game where they
might not be able to punt it anymore.
Yeah. But they've been so bad offensively. It's like
In the second half,
it's almost better to like take your chances on defense.
I've never heard you say that before. It's still not. Yeah, with the Riley Cooper thing made it spark that rumor, I'm sure. The incident. It did work for a while. They made the playoffs that year.
I'm actually surprised that I don't see more teams go to that no huddle, like, just to take advantage of like certain personnel groupings, but I guess we just don't see it as much anymore.
I might have to hop off momentarily for about 5 minutes.
No, it's all good.
Great run.
With how all the drives have gone for Washington, like they can really put this game on ice. But it's interesting, right? Because they can't kick field goals, so it puts a certain emphasis on the offense. There's been a few times, like in recent history, that coaching staffs have been able to just like hit the league in the mouth with what they're doing, like the RG3 type stuff with Washington, Chip Kelly with the Eagles. But then eventually, like, teams just figure out how to play it, and the advantage just disappears. That's what makes like Belichick's teams just incredible. Like, for him to give them an advantage, it feels like every single game is so hard to do. But some of those guys, it's like one trick ponies, right? Where him, it's like every tool in the bag is, it feels pretty sharp. Washington is minus 1076 to win this game, so the odds makers feel pretty good. The OU set at 34.5 with the under at minus 182, so heavy juice on the under. The other thing that's like really kept this game in check, let's say, is, and also like why the time of possession for Washington is so high, is that Seattle has just tackled so well this game. It's been very rare that Washington's been able to break free from any of these plays. But it's working out really well. Washington is just dominating on both sides of the ball. Logan Thomas was drafted as a quarterback, and then let me see if I can pull up his. Yeah, he was drafted in the 4th round in 2014 by Arizona as a quarterback. He got waived the next year. He got claimed by Miami. He did some practice squad stuff in Miami. Then he was on the Giants, then Detroit, then Buffalo, then Detroit. And then he's been with Washington since last year. But he, it seems like he's really found a home here in Washington. 30 years old. I think so. Like, I know there's been a lot of rumors about him and Russell Wilson, but I don't know. It's also interesting that that one article I saw, like Pete Carroll is the second highest paid coach, um, just in general. Like Belichick was one and Pete Carroll was two, and then there was, I forget what sports were included. I think it was like North American sports, but he's second highest paid coach in North American sports. Gibson with the first down. Seattle still has all 3 timeouts, but we're almost hitting that 5-minute mark of the fourth. And again, like this, the only thing I'd say is like you'd feel way better about Washington's chances if they were actually able to kick field goals, because 11-point lead with little time left is pretty safe. There's still a chance Seattle could get a stop. Season high for Gibson, 109 rushing yards tonight. I'm surprised with how hard Seattle's defense has played tonight. I always thought it was kind of silly when they'd have oxygen on the sidelines, and now I'm like looking at Gibson just taking these huge deep breaths. Like, maybe they should have oxygen for him on the sideline. And Washington just keeps the ball on the deck. This might be a spot where Seattle takes a timeout, but they have not. It's too late now. Gibson's back on the field. I got a feeling the ball's going to be in his hands on this next play. They know it's 4-down territory, so I'd be pretty surprised if they didn't run the ball on this next one. Especially with keeping this clock running. Hopefully Washington got the timeout there. This is like one where they actually need to use the timeout.
That totally is.
They didn't. This is actually a pretty bad, like, that they need to use a timeout there. These 5 yards actually really, really hurt them.
Especially if, like, they decide to get Tressway to kick.
I really don't think they are, like, but, it's... Yeah, Washington it's not going to be an easy game. Like, the Eagles might be slight favorites, but I don't know. Washington's played pretty good football lately.
Where Eagles, is it a pick on the road in Washington?
I think so. Maybe Eagles -1, but
-1, yeah.
It's tough. Oh man. McKissick is seriously hurt.
So now they have to get a timeout here?
I don't think so. I think this is just an injury.
It's an injury timeout, though. Like, that's just as bad almost. I'm taking time off the clock.
I don't think they actually have to use a timeout. I think that's only the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, but the clock stops.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly know how that works.
He could have broke his neck here.
His teammates looked pretty like sick to their stomach, so it must have been pretty bad on the field.
Oh man, that could be really, really, really bad.
Well, I'm gonna believe what they said, and I'm assuming that they're gonna be going for this on fourth and 3, I'd say. I'm trying to remember Michael Lombardi always used to talk about there's this like secret number of like completions and rushing attempts that you kind of want to hit as a team. And I'm just looking at it right now because Heineke and Gibson have 26 completions and 27 attempts each. And then there's about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more carries between other players. So what's that? 27 plus 26 plus 12. 65. And if we can compare it to the Seahawks, they have 12, 19, 21, 24. So 65 completions or running attempts to 24. It's pretty crazy.
That guy's doing the pee dance. I want to see this fourth down play, though.
Oh, if you need to go. Like, they're bringing the stretcher out right now for sure.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Sorry, I turned
like
my head for 1 second.
you got 3 minutes or so. He's sitting up, which is really, really a good sign. Michael Dickinson has punted for 399 yards. I wonder what the most punt yards in a game is. The most all-time was in 98 by the San Diego Chargers. Leo Arrigas, I've never heard of him. 709 punt yards. Unbelievable. Yeah, Josh, we should be both there on Thursday. Yeah, I'm not sure either. And they get the completion on fourth down. That's pretty much game. A Seahawks fan went 2-13 this week. You're gonna flip a coin on all the picks for the coming week. Yeah, it's in a weird way. Essentially, that's what we're all doing by making our picks. That should do it. I'm trying to remember the exact time, and they completed the fourth down catch. Seattle still has 2 timeouts. Like, technically, if they stop them on these 4 goal line plays, they still have a chance, but if Washington scores, this game's done. Wagner looked like he might have injured his arm or hand on that play.
Benson Mayoa saved that touchdown. by slowing that running back.
Washington moves into the wild card with a win. That's just jam packed. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the first commentary thing I've agreed with. People left this team for dead. They did.
Washington? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the gambling market left this team for dead.
Oh, did they ever?
Smart play by Heineke.
Good job.
There's a question, fat guy. Is that guy that won JS75 Name of the Week still under the Queensboro Bridge?
I told you, $15 a man. I drive over the Queensboro Bridge a couple times a week and under it.
I never get to go on top.
You live right by it? I don't know how close to home you're hitting with this.
Well, how many Queensboro bridges do you think there are?
There's lots. Okay, all
Oh,
right. Now
closer.
okay.
Now it's a real giveaway.
Now it's a real giveaway. Patillo, yeah.
Laura Rutledge let her baby pick a helmet for the SEC game of the week. The baby's like 11-2 this year. I remember they did that with the NHL. They had like a monkey spin, and the monkey was getting more games right than most of the analysts.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This excellent run from Antonio Gibson just turned into a disaster because he ran out of bounds. Oh, man. Yeah, shout out to New Westminster, the entire city.
Maybe it's just New York and Vancouver or New West. I thought there was more than one, so who knows though.
Man. What? They blew that down so late. Washington, I'm guessing, took a timeout. It's going to be hard to it'd be pretty hard for this game to go over now.
Like you're Tressway, you can't hit this field goal to ice the game.
That's a really good point. Like you're close enough now where it's
this is the all right. I said that before. I can honestly do it right now in the worst shape of my life. That's so easy. It's not that hard. Did Indomikong Su attempt one of these before? Like, am I wrong? He's a punter. You can't hit a kick here.
Where are they gonna? Oh, they called it a touchdown. Logan Thomas with the game-winning touchdown. Oh yeah, go for two. If you're not gonna kick a field goal there, you're definitely going for two.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's. Oh no. This might not be
like
a catch.
Touchdown.
I don't know.
I don't think that's a catch.
Oh man.
I don't think that's a catch.
It
I'm on
looked
Washington, and I don't think that's a catch.
it looked so sure-handed live, but
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
the best thing is even if this gets overturned, it's going to be like one or two plays for Seattle to turn the ball over.
They're calling it a touchdown? I'm behind you guys. Hand under ball. I could see it either way. I feel like anything for drama has kind of been overturned. I feel like it's more likely to get overturned though.
See, I agree with Seahawks fan. I think it's incomplete, but who cares? They're going to lose anyways. Judging by Logan Thomas's reaction, they're going to call it incomplete. I don't know what they're trying to show with this goofy zoomed in.
That looks like a touchdown if you look at that frozen frame.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But that's like not a good enough indicator. I don't know.
Well, Seahawks fan, the Washington football team kicker got injured. So they said at the start of the second half they weren't going to kick field goals. It's ruled... Oh,
it's ruled a touchdown? We're behind. Really? I don't know. I don't know.
They ruled it incomplete.
Jay, you're such a...
Well, technically it was ruled a touchdown, but
oh, I thought he was trolling me. I did think it was going to get reversed. That's what I was saying, Seahawks fan. I'm pretty sure I could make that kick right now in the worst shape of my life.
That's going to be a there's still a couple of events to go here, but if Seahawks are plus 770 on the live line right now to drive this ball all the way down, score a touchdown with no timeouts, get the 2-point conversion, and then
win in overtime.
Even then, it's still a coin flip, essentially.
I just don't know how you can't kick a field goal there, like Seahawks fan said.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be the question on everyone's mind. 97 yards to tie for overtime. Shades of the Iron Bowl. If the corner managed to tackle him inbounds on that play, that would have been gangster.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just catch the guy and drive him back.
You would have had to do like a sellout, like clothesline type deal, though.
I think this has been my biggest pet peeve this year is in these situations when guys can't tackle skill position players in bounds.
Or how about less aggressive defenses, like whereas Baltimore was the opposite, like when the Browns were driving to win the game. They're like, nah, we're not messing around here.
No, because it makes no sense. Like they've done whatever Washington has done defensively this game, it's worked really well, and I can already tell these first few plays they're not doing the same stuff.
But they like put the Cleveland comeback to bed. in like by the second play, pretty much.
Yeah. Finally, two things I can get behind. Tim Hortons and Justin Bieber. Same scenario, Jake. A back goes out of bounds, saving the opponent 30 seconds. That's true. That Gibson play is like making more of an impact on this game than it should have. It seems like there's a lot of corollaries.
Like they're talking about a band I've never heard of.
Mickey said if Seattle wins by 3, he loses both bets. Seattle definitely has the best offense in the Northwest.
Two downs to get 5 yards.
I will say it is safe to say that looked like a BS flag. It is safe to say that football is more fun without field goals.
Please be holding then if it's going to be a stupid flag. Pass interference. Jesus. Just 25-yard penalty.
Lockett sold that big time.
I don't want to
And
get repeated here.
that ball was not catchable either.
Oh. Come on now on that. On that flag? Are we joking? Anything for drama, eh?
Oh, huge sack.
Oh, I'm a second behind you.
I was just thinking that, like, Seattle, like, I wouldn't even be surprised if Seattle decided to run the ball on one of these plays. Like, that's how crazy it feels like it is on offense.
I got to credit the defender. He did the the most high percentage no flag play, the tackle.
Yeah. Just shoved him.
It's just a two-hand shove and like get away. Like, he's down. Well, they pretty much got a run here, Big Ryan.
That's the you owe me one from Pete earlier on. Yeah. I think that's the first reception for Metcalf as long as he got in bounds. Is this one? Oh, Landon Collins is down.
Was he in bounds there?
It looked like I want to see a closer replay of it, but I don't know. They're not showing it. Well, they showed one at full speed. But Washington has to burn a timeout there with the Landon Collins injury. I had to Google what TMJ went. That joke was funnier than it should have been.
You'd never heard that one?
No.
Oh, one of the O linemen's hurt for Seattle. Do they have any injury timeouts? Like how does that? I always forget how that works.
I think you get one, like extra timeout, like for injury.
Someone's hurt.
And then I think after that, I think it's a 10-second runoff. But like you heard, it's all I think. I don't actually know.
I didn't hear that the live odds, Jay.
I've been looking, but they've got them down. Like the drive's too fast for them to post. Pretty key for him to get over. I'm expecting a spike here. Live odds are Seattle plus 300. Man, you would have thought that would have been a spike. They wasted 11 seconds. Wow.
I'm so disgusted. I can't even talk about how disgusted I am and how risky what they just did was. And they're going to get it. I don't want to take a beat like this. There's no such thing as bad beats. But, like, you can't get... Oh, jeez. And you have seen this movie before. You're playing cover 2. How does that happen, man?
Well, Wilson put that ball on the money. Not that it was like a hard throw.
Dude,
but
there's nobody there. It's not that hard.
He did it. This is the play that I'm really interested to see. This is their first 2-point attempt this season. It looks like Washington's bringing pressure. Intercepted. That's game.
Oh, I'm behind. Thank you. Thank you.
Plot twist.
Man, what a sweat for no reason. Plot twist. Dude, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie every time.
This game turned out to be terrific. Yeah. Thank you, Russ, for some 9-star entertainment there at the end.
It's technically not over.
Yeah, I guess they can still get the onside kick.
Well, my friend, I just took Washington football team money line. Boys, let's easy now.
In a couple of years, it's going to be 8-finger entertainment for fat guy. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, plot twist again. Holy.
Are we joking? I can't take any more of these beats. Told you guys, stop saying anything.
Yeah, it's Chat's fault, fat guy.
This will be an all-timer, eh? Like in terms of like dramatic iterations of a game.
Think about how many weird things. Oh, it looks like it was just short. I want to see how picky they are with this. I don't think the ball actually went 10 yards.
I don't think it went 10 yards either.
It's tough at this angle because the angle is like off to the side.
I don't think it did.
Oh, but you know what? The Washington player actually touches the ball first.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does with his right hand. What did they call? What's the flag on?
Illegal formation.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
What is going on? This has got to be one of the wildest NFL games I could ever remember, because it was kind of like it was a grinder game, and then this was crazy. You can't pick this flag up now after announcing it.
Are the commentators saying like, yeah, this was illegal formation? I don't know what the exact rules are on how you line up. So the kicker gets injured. They could have easily kicked a very short field goal with their punter.
Ice the game.
And they decide not to. They go for the touchdown. It's called a touchdown and then called back. They still have another chance here because they get to kick it again, right? It looks like they're lined up the exact same, so I don't know what the illegal formation thing was.
Where's the 5-yard penalty?
Holy, they almost got it again. Those were two excellent onside kicks. That must have been Dixon.
This is so crazy.
The $10 million man, Adam Humphries, with the onside kick.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, remember the Jeremy Maclin one where he ran out and just like alley-oop chucked it out of bounds?
Yeah, that was one of our favorites.
The best one we've ever seen, like, player. Because you could dive and just hit it out of bounds. Like, that's probably your best move.
Yeah.
Lock it up, Washington. Holy smokes.
What a game.
That was a crazy emotional game.
That game was nuts. Like, I'm just like trying to go over my head like everything that happened, because there was the touchdown that was called back that was like very, very close to Logan
and
Thomas.
was originally ruled a touchdown.
Yeah. And then Seattle gets pretty lucky with that pass interference call on Tyler Lockett. And then complete breakdown in coverage by Washington over the middle of the field to score on a play where Seattle should have spiked it.
Yes.
But
yes.
they decided to take 11 seconds off the clock. They missed the 2-point conversion, which gets intercepted, but it doesn't even matter because they still get the chance at the onside kick. And then the onside kick was caught, and then there was some, like, I don't even understand what
there's a misalignment penalty.
Yeah, like, I want to know what the exact thing is. Not that
Nick
it's going to matter.
Was lined up 1 yard too much to the inside.
And that's a pretty bad mistake. Like, you got to know where to line up on a play like that.
I think that's where he was coached to line up for. So I think that's a coaching thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad coaching error if that's the case.
And there was a defensive 2-point conversion, Zidvono. There absolutely was.
Yeah, which is even throw that in the game. Pretty crazy. Like, what did Seattle finish with? They had probably 7 or 8 first downs in the entire game.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, just doing all the updating for everything that happened here. And what else do I got to update? This one. Sorry, guys, I haven't been able to look at chat. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I noticed less bets this week than some of the weeks prior. And that might be a scoregami 15-17.
I can look.
That was the final score, right, guys? 15-17? Yeah. Well, that's week 12 in the books.
No scoregami. 12 times before. Most recently in December 1st, 2016.
Wow, that's kind of surprising. I guess
It is.
I don't.
5 field goals?
I guess you have field goals, you have missed extra point stuff. Like, it can happen.
When it was 9-9, it had a 6.87% chance of scoregami.
Even like 17-13 with some sort of weird safety can happen. Like, it's
17-13, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Washington has some work to do on Hans' team in practice. Yeah. Mickey liked half of it.
Football team going to get some clout of a 3-game win streak. Maybe. Some of that ineptitude and drama at the end might get highlighted. Like, the recency bias is so, like, it's so ridiculous. Like, you have to think about what they think about. Because a lot of, like, guys, when they lose a bet, they just count what went unlucky and stuff like that. Anyways, I got some pressing issues, or some pressing matters, Big Rice. So I got to jump off.
All right, you guys, thanks for joining us for the live stream, and congrats to everybody who managed to make some money tonight. And that was just an entertaining game. Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you guys later.